To help guide conversations with our students.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts because kids' mental health starts with all of us. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
Join the movement. Listen to the Tori Lowe Show on 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, the locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time! It's time! It's Veda time!
You are watching a master at work.
Truth Nation, get ready for the greatest 60 minutes in radio, giving you his authentic and bold opinions, bringing you all the information, entertainment, and conversations you gotta hear. From local issues to trending topics and headline news, it is time for Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube. Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is your award-winning host, Kyle Wallace.
Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I'm your host, the Truth to Power, Kyle Wallace, and we're coming to you live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talk and Text line. Again, that is 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talk and Text line where you can call in and text in to share your thoughts and comments on today's show. In addition to that, you can also watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That is 1017 The Truth on YouTube, where you can give us a like, you can give us a share, you can give us a subscribe so you don't miss any of your favorite award-winning 1017 The Truth shows. Shout out to DJ Brother Z holding it down on the ones and the twos. And shout out to you, Truth Nation. I'm going to YouTube myself. All right, now. What up, Truth Nation? Okay, you can go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Well, I was thinking about how am I going to start today's show. There was something that I saw in the news that talked about an inspector general here in the city of Milwaukee. And I'll probably just say, let's just be real. A couple things, announcements. There's an inspector general named Rhonda Kohlheim who just cost the city $50,000 because she put in, according to reports, Kohlheim had recommended that the Milwaukee County District Attorney Office bring criminal charges against then City Attorney Tierman Spencer and Oiku, who was the deputy city attorney at the time. And she falsely accused him of committing a crime in a report published in 2023. The city now is paying $50,000 in a settlement to this deputy city attorney based off some of these accusations, allegedly, based off the report. The defendants included Kohlheim, city clerk Jim Ozarski, Common Council President Jose Perez. They all accused him of libel, slander, and negligent supervision. And we ended up having to pay $50,000. So once again, the city is spending more money because of people. And so Rhonda was an inspector general, still is an inspector general for the city of Milwaukee. And it looks like she was part of this, and based off the claims, and it says falsely claims, I don't know, falsely accused. But I'm just thinking, all this money we spend so much, I talked about it before, we spend millions of dollars literally paying people not to work. Millions of dollars paying people not to work here in the city of Milwaukee. Where they do that at? That just doesn't make any sense to me. We got to have better people in these positions. If somebody messes up, I listen. I don't ever advocate for people being fired, but I also advocate for people being able to do their job successfully, and if they can, they should probably move on. And before we continue on as well, Truth Nation, I got my hat on today. You see this hat, Brother Z? See what it say 4-3 on the front? This is a Thanasis, not a Kumbo hat. It's a giveaway for the Bucks game tonight. Got an exclusive Thanasis hat. Pretty dope hat. Make sure you go to the Bucks game so you can get this hat as well. And lastly, big announcement. I don't know if I told DJ Brother Z this or not. Ron Johnson will be joining me. We'll be having an interview. Why you put thumbs down? We don't like Ron Johnson? Trash! Oh, Ron Johnson's going to be joining. We're going to be pre-recording an interview tomorrow at 11. I want to try to get it. I don't know if I'll be able to get it flipped. You think you can get it flipped by a video flipped by 12:15 tomorrow, Brother Z? If I did done at 11:30, he said no. Andrew told me no. So I guess we're going to air it on Thursday. We're going to air the interview on Thursday. So make sure y'all stay tuned because about 12:15, we are going to air the interview with Ron Johnson. 833-212-1017. If you have any questions you want me to ask Ron Johnson, please do have me. You can text in those questions at 833-212-1017. I'll let Ron know these are questions from the community. So you can go ahead, text in at 833-212-1017. If you have any questions for Ron Johnson, again, the interview will air at 12:15 on Thursday. And with that being said, Truth Nation, let's hit them with the off the top.
Y'all know what time it is. It's time for Off the Top on Truth to Power. Kyle, let Truth Nation know what you got to get off your chest today.
Well, Truth Nation, over the weekend, the British Oscars, called the BAFTA, were hosted on Sunday. And Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were presenting an award, just like many people do at these award ceremonies. We've seen this all the time. Yeah, people come up, they present these awards. You know, they say, and the winner is, that's what they do. It's standard. That's what happens all the time. That's standard. Now, it's two black men who starred in the film Sinners, an Oscar-winning film itself, were on stage introducing the first award of the night at the BAFTAs out there in Britain, the UK. So after up there on stage, an attendee yelled out a racial slur. Now, I will play the video, but before I do, BAFTA and other people tried to blame this random outburst from this gentleman on the fact that he has Tourette syndrome. Now, I don't want to be insensitive to folks who have Tourette syndrome, nor do I want the Tourette Syndrome Organization of America or Milwaukee to come after me. So I'm going to be very sensitive and tiptoe around the conversation because I don't have time to be getting canceled. I don't have time to be extorted because these organizations will extort you. I know that to be truthful. Organizations, if you say something that offend them, they will ask you for a donation. I ain't got it. My pockets is empty. Nor does Good Karma Brands have it. Tourette's, folks. Now, I don't want to be insensitive because I understand that Tourette's is a debilitating disease. All right, it's a very debilitating disease. It causes for you to be able to struggle in social settings and not be able to function in social settings. I watched a whole TV show called Living with Baylin or something like that, where she got Tourette. She be saying some wild stuff. Whatever comes to her mind comes out. Tim Howard, one of the greatest soccer players in American history, great American soccer player, black American soccer player. He has Tourette syndrome as well. So, I mean, it's normal for people to, it's not prevalent, but people have Tourette's. But I want y'all to know, out of all the words in the dictionary, okay, out of all the words in the dictionary, out of all the swear words and cuss words this man with Tourette's could have used, all the racially offensive and insensitive things you can say, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of racially insensitive things that could be said, words that can be said. This man that has the Tourette syndrome happened to select the one word that is extremely offensive to a black man. I don't know about all that, Truth Nation. I really don't. Go to 1017thetruth.com or go to 1017thetruth on YouTube, or turn up your 1017 The Truth app, or turn up your radio so you can hear the audio of John Davison, who was subject of a movie that talked about Tourette's. He blurted out the N-word as Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were on stage introducing the award. Go to 1017 The Truth or simply turn up your radio to hear what happened at the BAFTA Awards on Sunday as Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were trying to give an award.
Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making.
We're here to celebrate.
Go back, play it again. Play it again.
Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making.
Yes, that's nigga to me.
We're here to celebrate.
What you think, nigga? Which one you think it was, Brother Z?
I really don't care what it was.
Why don't you care?
I'm not mad at this.
You ain't. So why are you not mad at?
I'm not mad at the person. The person can't control it.
Oh, see, well, we gonna talk about that, Brother Z. We gonna talk about it.
If you're gonna be mad at anybody, you need to be mad at the damn broadcast
for not bleeping it out.
Aired it.
Yeah, now that I agree with. Though DJ Brother Z, see, there it is. See, DJ Brother Z letting it pass the test. I'm glad he said that because go ahead, turn the music back up. I ain't passing. I ain't letting that pass. Y'all can cut the malarkey, cut the bull crap right now. I don't care. I don't care if you got Tourette syndrome. Cause ain't no way in the world that this man said the N-word like that. Out of all the words to say, I'm not giving him a pass for saying the N-word. He said the N-word. Listen, I understand he has Tourette's, but what in his mind made him say nigger? Because when I look at this situation and I see it, some folks will say, well, it's uncontrollable tick, which is true. It's true. It's an uncontrollable thought. I get it. But when this man saw these black people on stage, his natural impulse was to yell N-word. I've seen Becoming Baylin. I've seen the TV show. And the stuff that she said when she see her boyfriend ain't nigger. It's something else. She said what she want. So all I'm saying is this, is that out of all the words that this man could have said, he just so happened to use the N-word when he saw, but he didn't use the C word. I ain't gonna say it because y'all ain't gonna get me canceled. He didn't use the H word when he saw him. He didn't use, what they call Hispanic folk offensively or what they call Asian folk. Nope, he used the word that offends black people. 833-212-1017. Why do you think this man said that word? And are you accepting his apology? Are you like Brother Z who's saying it ain't his fault? He has Tourette's. And if you are an expert in Tourette's, I want to hear from you. 833-212-1017 because I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Like, yes, does he have Tourette's? Yes. Did Tourette's cause him to yell that out? Absolutely. But why in the world, in that man's mind, why didn't he say black man? Why didn't he say that? Why didn't he say Negroes? He said nigger. Again, I understand the man has Tourette's. He has a disease. It's uncontrollable, but those thoughts came from somewhere. How did that word and that thought come to his mind when he saw these two brothers on stage? Imagine at the Truth Community Awards, Truth Nation. Imagine if somebody did that when I was on stage giving the speech talking about my Tourette's. Imagine if Mayor Cavalier Johnson was giving his State of the City speech and some random attendee all of a sudden said, short nigger. I would be appalled. I would be appalled. And so all I'm saying is that if that happened to a mayor, if that happened to me, if it happened to Michael B. Jordan, it happened to Mr. Lindo, I think we should be offended. It's disrespectful. And if it was the President Trump and he got up there and somebody with the, used the C word, I would be offended as well. All I'm saying is I think it's quite interesting that somebody blurted out the N-word while he was speaking. We would all be appalled. I would defend the mayor. I would defend the county executive. I would defend Tony Evers. I would defend anybody. Nobody should have to be subjected to that. And I understand he did not do it on purpose. I get it. He has Tourette syndrome. I get it. And I'm not saying there shouldn't be a level of understanding. I am saying that I don't think it's a coincidence that the word he used happened to be nigger. That is what I'm saying. And then the award show tried to play it off, talking about the crowd and warned the crowd beforehand at the ceremony, saying that involuntary swearing could occur. And if y'all knew this was something that could happen, maybe, just maybe, y'all should have said, okay, well, maybe, we want this to be an inclusive environment, but we can't allow this man just to be yelling out cuss words during this event. Maybe he can't come. Maybe he needs to sit in the back somewhere. Maybe he should have stayed at home. Maybe they should have put a muzzle on him. I don't know. They should have did something because ain't no way in the world that came out that these brothers had to endure that. And after the incident, the host of the show, Alan Cumming, asked for understanding for the strong and offensive language. He reminded the crowd that Tourette's syndrome was a disability and tics were involuntary, and he said, "We apologize if you were offended tonight." The man said nigger. I need a doctor to call in and tell me why we should be okay with anyone yelling out the N-word. Tell me how this happened. And tell me how this is the one word used. I really am curious. 833-212-1017. Truth Nation, help me out. Am I being too insensitive with this? I don't, because again, I understand it as a disease. I understand that people have Tourette syndrome. They have these tics where they say things, but I don't believe that should excuse the language that comes out their mouth, especially it's offensive. It's one thing to say the B word. It's one thing to call them out of their name, but it's another thing to use a racially insensitive word. I'm telling y'all, there's thousands and thousands of words. Thousands and thousands of words. And that happened to be the one that was used to describe black men. 833-212-1017. I'll take your calls. I'll take your texts. Again, I get this is a disease, but it's not an excuse for somebody to use racially insensitive and racially offensive language. Are y'all buying it? It reminds me of the South Park episode. Brother Z, do you watch South Park at all?
Nope.
So there's a South Park episode where Cartman, he's the short, fat one, who faked like he had Tourette's, and so he just started just randomly cussing. It's a pretty funny episode. It's really hilarious. He was just offending people. And again, I'm not saying that this man purposely did that. That I'm not saying. But what I am saying is I'm trying to get the bottom of the fact that that just so happened to be the word he used. Somebody gonna have to help me explain that to me. And again, I ain't the expert on everything. I'm not an expert. I'm just sharing my thoughts and my opinions, and I just think it's very interesting. And again, if this happened in Milwaukee, when Jose Perez was up there giving a speech and somebody called him out of his name, I would defend Jose Perez. If somebody called Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley a smiling Negro, a smiling nigger, I would be upset. 833-212-1017. I want to hear your thoughts and your comments. We'll get to your calls and texts after this. Make sure you watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube, where you can give us a like, you can give us a share, you can give us a subscribe. If you know somebody with Tourette's, I definitely want to hear from you. If you know, or if you're an expert in Tourette's, I want to hear from you. And again, I want to be very specific. This has nothing to do with the fact that this man had an outburst. It's about the fact of the word that came out of his mouth and why that happened to be the word. Somebody explained to me why, when he saw two black men on stage, that happened to be the word that came out of his mouth. That's all I'm trying to understand. I understand the outburst, but I'm trying to understand how he got to that word out of all these words in the world. Out of all the cuss words too, because they say they like to swear. Out of all the swear words, that's the one that came out of his mouth. 833-212-1017. We'll take your calls. We'll take your texts. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace, and we'll continue the conversation next.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube. On Wednesday night, the Milwaukee Panthers wrap up their regular season schedule as they host conference foe, the Youngstown State Penguins, at Milwaukee Panthers Arena.
20 to shoot. Elam will. No on the three. To the top. Ricochet. Dorceus. He'll take the three, and he'll bury it.
Scott Warris has the coverage Wednesday starting at 6:30 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 7 o'clock.
Injured at work, unable to work due to health problems, or denied veteran benefits you're entitled to? Last year, Tayback Law returned over $73 million in wrongfully denied VA and Social Security benefits to people in our communities. Tayback Law celebrates Black History Month by bringing its message to 101.7 The Truth. The team is thrilled to see Milwaukee achieve this exciting new outlet for speaking truth to power. And Tayback Law is always ready to fight for you. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your family's tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
This is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. That's because their agents make you feel totally protected with a home, auto, or life policy that is right for you. Also, you're free to enjoy your dreams with American Family Insurance. As always, it's so easy to work with American Family Insurance. When you call them, they'll help you. You can go online and find an agent near you. Or if you're somebody which just likes to get it done, they allow for you to get a quote instantly online. That is instantly online. You have to love that type of flexibility, and that's what they offer at American Family Insurance. So always remember to insure carefully and dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Visit amfam.com today to find an agent near you or get a quote instantly online. It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, and we are talking about at basically the British Oscars on Sunday. Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were up giving an award out, first award of the night, and when they walked on stage, there was an individual in the crowd who has Tourette's, and he blurted out the N-word. That's what he did. He yelled out the N-word when he saw him. Now, we can all say that he blurted it out because he has the Tourette's disease. He has Tourette's syndrome. That, to me, I don't believe he would have yelled that out, especially in that setting, had he not had Tourette's. But what I'm trying to figure out is why that was the word that he chose to say, or not chose to say, why that was the word that ended up coming out. 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talking text line. You can watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube, where you can give us a like, you can give us a share, and you can give us a subscribe, as we're trying to get to the bottom of why, oh, why did this gentleman at this award show yell out the N-word? Again, not on purpose because of his disease, but why was the N-word the one that came to mind when he saw two black men walk on stage? Ron on the South Side, what are your thoughts?
This is what I do.
What do you do? What do you do, Ron, on the South Side?
Hey, Kyle, I can't help you with this, but I got some questions real quick. So I don't know if after they got off the stage, this guy yelled it out, to anybody else. That's number one. Number two, what if Delroy or Michael B. Jordan would have said, what is this guy, retarded? You think they would have got a lot of backlash? I think so.
Can't use the
and you know. Well, you use the N-word on radio.
Yeah, I mean,
with the hard ER and all that. Ain't it like the same thing?
I use the N-word for creative. Now, wait a minute, Ron. The N-word was repeated for this. I don't use the R-word unless it was somebody who technically talking about mental retardation. But I don't use that. I don't. You ain't gonna get me canceled.
Okay. Well, how about I say retard? How about that? Can I say it that way?
Hey. I can't.
Tartar sauce. How about retarded sauce?
Okay.
How about that?
Well, the man doesn't have
a conversation that we're having.
Yeah, man, Ron. He doesn't. Just because you have Tourette's doesn't mean that you have a mental disability. Well, maybe you do have a mental disability. You might be on something.
All I'm saying is, if they hit you with a brick, you hit them with another brick. If they hit you with two bricks, you hit them with three. I don't turn the other cheek for nobody, whether they have Tourette's or they call them little tink. It don't make no sense. We keep trying to give people a pass for offending us. No. I don't think it should have been. I think it should have been checked right then and there.
Hey,
forget about that, man. Quit turning the other cheek, bro. That's what I'm saying.
That's what he said.
Retard.
Okay, y'all gonna get me in trouble. I do not condone any language used in that moment. I will not be canceled. But 833-212-1017. We are talking about Tourette's. The guy who has Tourette's at the award show in Great Britain or in England, and he the British award show where in London, where he yelled out the N-word and they blamed it on his Tourette's, and everybody applauded when they said thank you for accepting us and the fact that we need to be okay with people's differences. I said hell no, not me. It wouldn't have been me. 833-212-1017. Miss Kathy, what are your thoughts on this conversation?
Yeah, I had a tenant like that. He was a grown man, but they have physical and mental disabilities also. But he, when I come over and they see me, he would call me. He would say shit or he'd say bitch. So the mother said, and he was a grown.
What? Kathy. Kathy, what is going on? How is that even? Kathy? How you gonna call into the radio show and then knowing this is public radio? This ain't nothing. What is that called? I'm lost. This ain't XM, FM, Sirius XM. How's she gonna call in? We dumped it. And tell the story and said he used to say all these cuss words. Kathy, if I wish I could say, listen, Kathy, when I brought the story in and I said all the other swear words, don't you wish I could have just went through a whole bunch of swear words that people say? Don't you think I would have loved to do that and would have been colorful with it? But I can't. What are we doing? I can't believe Kathy called in and did that. Yeah, he used to say sugar, honey, iced tea and the B word. What do you mean, Kathy? I appreciate you. We cool, but we ain't that cool now. Dang. Oh my gosh. Y'all gonna get me fired. Y'all gonna get me in trouble. Now I gotta explain to him how did I let that happen. All right, Al.
That laugh.
Okay, Al.
I needed that.
Hell no. Al, what do you mean you needed that laugh? I hope you ain't talking about Kathy cussing.
That was a good one.
No,
but
the hell
to be
it wasn't.
honest, I think the guy, if they were smart, they would have blamed it on his medication. But that individual, he said it because he's seen it. And from history, a lot of times when they say it, it's probably because they want to F your brains out. So, hey, if they were smart, they would have said it was his.
Al, what is... Time out. So you saying... I might have missed it. Are you saying that the man with Tourette's said the N-word because he wants to something the brains out of Michael B. Jordan?
Probably.
Come on.
When you look at because think about this, Kyle. When you look at history and all that kind of stuff, what do they say? F me N-word, F me N-word. That's probably what he want to do. And look at most KK.
What the hell is happening, Zach? What is going on? I don't even understand what is happening right now. I don't know what is going on. Why did Al just call in and say that the reason this man said that is because he wanted to sleep with Michael B. Jordan? I don't even know. I don't think I can continue this conversation. Y'all are out of control.
What else do you have planned for today?
Yeah, we gonna have to move on. We gonna talk about Trump because I don't even know. Y'all about to have me risk it all. I'm so lost and confused. Somebody said Kyle couldn't find the button fast enough. I was looking and searching.
Is that why it wasn't lighting up on my end?
No, I didn't touch it. You touched it first. All right, listen. I don't know. All right, I think Kathy texts back in. This is a riot. Kathy said Lalo's words are used in the household around him. They don't. I don't even know. Listen. Okay. Let me just take a deep breath. So we're gonna wrap this up because obviously y'all can't handle this. We can only dump so many times in so many seconds. Y'all don't went far left, far right. I don't even know. Here's my whole point. The man has Tourette's, yes, okay? And does Tourette syndrome cause you to somehow yell out all these crazy things? Yes. The science behind it is so weird that they say cuss words. My whole point of the story is this. I'm not giving this man with Tourette's a pass because he ended up using the N-word, which to me, I don't think it's a coincidence that he happened to choose the word that describes black people in a negative way and racially insensitive way. There are so many different words that he could have chosen, and Kathy shared some of them with you today, that he could have chosen that he didn't. He decided to use the word.
When it comes to the ticks, they can't pick what tick is their word of choice.
I'm trying to figure out why he chose the tick to call him in. Why didn't he just say Blackie?
He didn't choose it.
Okay, why did that one come? He should Blackie. Blackie would have been good. Blackie would have been okay. That was a little offensive, but he got Tourette's, so okay.
But that's probably not his tick. That, and that's probably not the first time that's happened. That's probably what his tick is.
When he see black people, that's his tick. That's what his tick is. Hell, yeah, you right. That is his tick. When he see black people. All right, Truth Nation, 833-212-1017. We gonna move on because y'all wilding out, y'all tripping, and I don't even know shit. I don't know if I should do Trump. I don't know if I should do protecting women. I don't even know. I'm shaking. On the other side, Truth Nation, listen, we're gonna do Trump because the State of the Union is coming out. If you got any thoughts on this, you can still call in about the Tourette's. If you're an expert or you have thoughts that you won't cuss or talk about wanting to do stuff to people. But 833-212-1017, we'll still take your calls. We'll take your texts talking about the Tourette's situation. But on the other side, Truth Nation, there's a massive cover-up happening with the Epstein files, and we're going to talk about it next.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
From my family and myself, I would like to say thank you to Gruber Law Offices for taking such good care of us.
I would say thank you because you're so human and so much of a friend during the whole process.
I'm super grateful for them representing me and doing all that they did for me.
I would just say thank you for making me feel better.
That's why I'm here, to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all.
Do you hear that? And that? And that? Those are the sounds of a healthy and vibrant community. And to this United Way volunteer, nothing sounds better. They're the sounds of children being given greater chances to succeed in school. The sounds of neighbors receiving the support needed to overcome challenges, both big and small. They're the sounds of families gaining access to quality health care and nutritious food for their tables. And they're the sounds of members of our community who've benefited from United Way's financial education programs. See, wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. People working together to respond and growing the good for everyone. United is the way. So join us by getting involved or giving back. Learn more at unitedway.org.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person, complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
This True Sports Center update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel.
After getting, quote, manhandled by the Toronto Raptors on Tuesday night, the Bucks play at home against the Miami Heat tonight. Miami's looking to build upon a 3-game win streak with a victory over Milwaukee. This is the second time the two teams have matched up this season. Tip-off tonight is at 7 p.m. The Marquette Golden Eagles are on the road today taking on Georgetown. Tip-off tonight is at 6 p.m. Marquette has a 25-15 advantage in the all-time series against the Hoyas. Marquette has 4 games remaining, 2 on the road, 2 at home, before they travel to Madison Square Garden for the Big East tournament. And the Wisconsin Badgers travel to Oregon tomorrow for a late tip-off against Oregon at 10 p.m. This True Sports Center update was brought to you by ESPN Milwaukee.
You are listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app. Catch Truth to Power every weekday from noon to 1 p.m.
Every child deserves a school that sees their brilliance, a place that believes in who they can become. At Milwaukee College Prep, they set the bar high with strong character, high expectations, and academic excellence starting as early as the age of 3. MCP scholars continue to outperform their peers across Milwaukee because they believe every child can achieve greatness. And the best part is tuition free. If you're looking for a school that partners with you, challenges your child, and prepares them for college and beyond, visit MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com. That is MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com, because Milwaukee College Prep is where brilliance begins. Make sure you tune into the Tory Lowe Show today at 2 o'clock, as he will be joined by folks from Milwaukee College Prep talking about their experience working and also being a parent of a student at MCP. So make sure you tune into the Tory Lowe Show today at 2 o'clock. It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am Kyle Walsh, your host of Truth to Power. You can watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Give us a like, a share, and a subscribe as well. And today's conversation, though it has gotten out of control because of y'all, I'm putting this on y'all. I was talking about Tourette syndrome and the fact that at basically the British Oscars, when Michael B. Jordan and what was it? Delroy Lindo were presenting an award. Like many people do all the time, somebody with Tourette's in the crowd yelled out the N-word, and a lot of folks said, "Well, it's his syndrome that he has. It's not his fault." And I said, "Yeah, I get it. It's his syndrome. It's not his fault. But also, he chose that. Oh, he didn't choose that word. That was the word that came out. And I'm trying to get to the bottom of why that was the word that came out." But 833-212-1017, Jay, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Please, Jay, keep it clean.
Oh, yeah, it's always going to be clean, bro. Thanks a lot, man, for having me. But my thing is, was that the first outburst he had throughout the whole show?
That was that was the first one he had, because that was at the start of the show. So
was there any more outbursts?
I do not know. I can look up if there's any more outbursts. I don't think there's any more outbursts that had N-word. My assumption is that that wasn't an outburst. How many outbursts occurred? I'm gonna look it up.
Well, a tick then, I guess, if that's what you want to call it.
There was three that occurred during the event. And was that the only N-word, DJ Brother Z?
To my knowledge,
that was the only N-word.
I guess.
Okay. Well, again,
okay.
I mean, there it is. There you have it. Thank you, Brother Z. Happened 3 times. Yep. Happened 3 times. Yeah. So there you have it.
But the N-word was the only time.
I get the laugh.
N-word, right?
I get the laugh. Jay, I get it. They was the first. I get it, Jay. I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but I don't want to be canceled by the Tourette Syndrome organization saying that I'm insensitive to folks with Tourette's. So we're gonna let that one go. So I don't know. Hey, one notable outburst included a racial slur directed at 2 actors who happen to be black. That's all I'm saying. It's involuntary tick, though. He can't control it. But somehow the spirit spoke to him, and he just needed to say that. But anyways, Truth Nation, as we can continue on with today's conversation, I do want to talk about the fact that there is a massive, massive cover-up happening within our United States government. And unfortunately, it's extremely disgusting, and probably not enough people are going to be upset about it. And when I'm talking about a massive cover-up, it's with Donald Trump and these Epstein files. Now, Truth Nation, the State of the Union address is tonight. And I, for one, will be very interested to see what the president talks about today. I know he will try to spin everything as Biden broke it and now he's trying to fix it. I know he will say the stock market is soaring, is at an all-time high, which is true. The stock market is at an all-time high. But also, behind those numbers, last year's growth was the worst growth that we had by a first-year president in 20-plus years. So last year was the worst year for a first-year president in the stock market growth-wise in 20-plus years. So did the stock market grow? Yes. Did it grow at a rate that it should have? Probably not. Probably not. You also hear him say, hey, our jobs are in the tank because of Biden, even though during Biden, jobs were doing really good. And virtually last year, the first year under Trump, we had no job growth, damn near no job growth in 2025. Right now, we're sitting at the highest black employment rate that we've seen since the COVID pandemic. Healthcare costs are going through the roof. Everybody knows that. War still rages on and wages on in Ukraine after they said it's going to be stopped day one. Israel is still killing Palestinians after they signed a truce agreement. If you don't believe me, go ahead and Google how many Palestinians were killed last week. I haven't looked it up for last week, but I can tell you I know some were killed after they signed a truce agreement, a ceasefire, where people weren't supposed to be dying, but Palestinians are still losing their lives right now in the Gaza Strip. Grocery prices are still on the rise. Beef prices are at an all-time high, record high, and pedophilia is running rampant, and pedophiles are on the loose. And speaking of pedophiles being on the loose, Truth Nation, NPR broke a news story this morning, I believe it was, that one of the potential pedophiles from the Epstein files was covered up. They're saying that the Department of Justice purposely redacted and withdrew information on somebody who potentially was accused of pedophilia. And that person that was accused of pedophilia is the man who's going to be speaking to the country tonight. NPR reported that the Justice Department has withheld some Epstein files related to allegations that include President Donald Trump sexually abusing a minor. It also removed some documents from the public database where accusations against Jeffrey Epstein also mentioned Donald Trump. Now, y'all, I'm not an expert in cover-ups. Not my thing, not my cup of tea. I'm not really the expert in going into that. But I ain't stupid, I ain't dumb. When you see reports that are saying that the Department of Justice, the department that we are entrusting to investigate these crimes committed in these Epstein files, and they are purposely taking out files that are related to one man and Donald Trump, that should get your antennas up. You should know that they're trying to cover up something. The Department of Justice removed more than 50 pages of FBI interviews and notes from conversations with a woman who accused Trump of sexual abuse decades ago when she was a minor. Now, the key word I want to emphasize that in this specific situation, Truth Nation, is decades ago. And I think the reason why it is so key is because of the fact that this sexual assault occurred way before he was president. Way before he was thinking about being president. The woman who directly named Trump in her abuse allegations claimed that around 1983, when she was around 13 years old, Jeffrey Epstein, introduced her to Donald Trump, who eventually forced her head down to expose his man parts, which she ended up biting. Now, this, of course, is allegations. This, of course, may not be true. But this is the stuff that they wanted to redact and hide from you because it painted the president in a negative light. And I've been going down this rabbit hole, not super down, but I've been going down this rabbit hole of Jeffrey Epstein, and it is some sick stuff and some weird stuff. Did y'all know? I'm gonna go on a tangent for a second. Did y'all know with Jeffrey Epstein, when this man was in his mid to late 20s, he was given a foreign passport that he was able to use, a fake foreign passport that he was able to use, and he entered multiple countries across Europe using that fake passport. Now, please somebody explain to me why an American citizen has to get a fake passport from a different country to travel in Europe. What type of a 20-some-year-old? What 20-year-old gets a fake passport? It was an Austrian passport. And so I guess I'm trying to figure out, and it had a whole fake name too, Maurice Fatinli. And it happened in 1982. It was like the passport was valid from like 1982 to like the late 1980s. And the passport had stamps saying that he entered France, Spain, and United Kingdom on multiple occasions. He also went to the Saudi consulate in Vienna. Well, so I'm trying to understand, what connections does a 20-some-year-old have where somebody assists him in getting a fake Austrian passport, and then they allow for him to enter the country with these fake passports? That's weird to me. And then in addition to that, a report came out is that the United States government within the last decade were offering to allow for Jeffrey Epstein to buy government buildings, and then the government would rent it back out from him. It's just weird to me, the type of access, the type of power, the type of influence that this man had. But when I saw the fake passport, it was so interesting to me because I'm like, all right, as somebody who's now in their 30s, and DJ Brother Z, he's in his 20s. In your 20s, you're still rather young. And to have somebody supporting you to the extent where they get you a fake passport and change your name and allow for you to travel is kind of odd, and it kind of shows me that you're extremely well connected. So Jeffrey Epstein and this island and all this stuff was not by mistake. This was all planned out. This was all strategic. Jeffrey Epstein was being propped up by somebody else. And so when I see Donald Trump connected with Jeffrey Epstein, I don't know if Jeffrey Epstein cared to be friends with Donald Trump, but I do feel like it was part of the plan for him to be friends with Donald Trump, just like it was part of the plan for him to cozy up to a lot of people. But getting back to sicko Donald Trump, after Donald Trump got some bit on his body, the woman claimed that Trump punched her in the head and kicked her out. Again, I don't know if any of this is true. I do not know that. But I do know I have never been accused of being with a minor. I have never been accused of sexually assaulting anybody. I also have not been caught on camera saying I like to grab women by the hoo-ha or say I like to run pageants because I get to go from room to room while these young women are changing. That's never come out of my mouth. Ever. I've never been accused of any of that. I don't think it's, not saying, people get falsely accused of stuff all the time, but not hundreds of times. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And with Donald Trump, there seems to be a lot of smoke. These Epstein files are absolutely grotesque. And going through them I'm telling you, it's actually unbelievable. It's like reading a horror script. It's unbelievable that this is the reality. But the reality is this, Truth Nation, is that there are a bunch of rich, wealthy, and influential people who are running our country and running the world, who are all part of an international sex ring where Epstein used these islands to extort people. People like our president, Donald Trump, and the government fully understands that. Why, oh why, if you have nothing to hide, if you are innocent, why did they deem it necessary to pull those files out? We all understood and knew when they were trying to release these files, they were purposely going slow, not because, it was so many different files, we had to redact them. No, because they wanted to be strategic, because they wanted to make sure that Donald Trump wasn't exposed. But NPR today, which I don't think is a coincidence, by the way, NPR today, on the date of the State of the Union, released damning information about our president, released damning information about a cover-up, released the fact that they have not, the Department of Justice broke the law by not releasing all files. That is what happened. That's what I want y'all to understand, is that Donald Trump and this administration are doing what they want to do. And nobody's holding them accountable. There is nobody that can sit up here and tell me that the Department of Justice did not break the law when it is obvious that there was a law that was passed, signed by the president, that said that the Epstein files need to be released within 30 days. It took them more than 30 days to release the files, and now we find out that they didn't even still release all the files after saying they released all the files, and then we find out they specifically withheld files that included Donald Trump. That is illegal. They should all be fired. They should all be fired, and they should all be tried, because they literally broke the law. That is exactly what happened. And again, I think it's quite interesting that NPR released this today. And I think there's a saying, revenge is best served cold. Well, remember, NPR was under attack. PBS and NPR were under attack by the Trump administration last year. Remember, they cut funding. They cut funding from NPR stations and public radio stations across and broadcast stations across this country. Some actually had to close their doors because they didn't have enough funding to continue on in smaller rural communities. So they lost a significant amount of their funding. And I think it's interesting on the day of the State of the Union address, where Donald Trump has to get up and talk to America. Now, his administration is going to have to be talking about what again? The Epstein files. Iran has been in the news. Venezuela has been in the news. Mexico has been in the news. You got all these different things in the news. And the Epstein files, though they are still popular, they're dying down just a little bit. And now on the day of the State of the Union address, instead of focusing on our economy and focusing on moving forward, the thing that is going to be in people's minds is the fact that Donald Trump and the Department of Justice strategically worked to ensure that they can cover up the fact that he was part of the Epstein files. There is no ifs, ands, or buts around that. The facts are the facts. And NPR is very reputable. And the fact that over 50 documents that included Donald Trump were withheld, we know that was on purpose. We fully understand that was on purpose. 50 pages of FBI interviews, notes, and conversations with a woman who accused Trump of sexual abuse decades ago when she was a minor were withheld. It was removed. I wonder why. If you have nothing to hide, if you are innocent, you will release all the information. And Marjorie Taylor Greene said it herself. She said one of the biggest proponents against the release of the Epstein files was Donald Trump himself. And now we all 100% know why. We know it had to do with the fact that he indeed was friends with Jeffrey Epstein. He indeed was around Jeffrey Epstein when some weird stuff was happening. And he indeed was accused of sexual assault in the Epstein files. And we should have already known this because Elon Musk exposed it back in June. So where are the folks who hate pedophilia now? Where are the folks that said, oh, the Pizzagate? They're all silent now that their boy Donald Trump is the one who looks to be a pedophile. 833-212-1017. We'll continue on with more conversations and wrap up the show on the other side. It's Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. Keep it locked.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
This is Sherwin Hughes from The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. And Truth Nation, you can now watch my show live on YouTube every day from 9 a.m. until noon. Yep, you can get 3 full hours of watching Sherwin doing his thing, streaming live on YouTube Monday through Friday. You'll get the same insightful conversations about policy, politics, and lifestyle, while also seeing my reaction to the unpredictability of our listeners. So go to YouTube right now, subscribe to 1017 The Truth, and see this wonderful smile live every day.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The road to the championship ends here. The best of the best. The City Championship Gold Division. One game, one title, one team raising the trophy. After a season of battles, buzzer beaters, and unforgettable moments, it all comes down to this. Who's built for the pressure? Who's ready to make history? Listen live on 1017 The Truth and on the Truth app, your home for City Championship basketball.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about 4 walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your family's tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
It is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
1, 2, 3, ho!
The award-winning 1017 The Truth proudly celebrates Black excellence in the most monumental moments in our history. All month long, we have been honoring the voices, the stories, and the achievements that have shaped our past, empowered our present, and continue to inspire our future. Tune in all month long as we continue to lift up the legacy, the brilliance, and the power of Black history, because Black history isn't just history, it's happening every day. 1017 The Truth's celebration of Black History Month is proudly sponsored by Educators Credit Union and Tayback Law. It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. And Truth Nation, again, it is just a wild world that we live in, that so many people will look at the fact that these Epstein files expose Democrats, Republicans, rich, poor, whatever it is, we're not poor, rich people, for sexually assaulting and abusing young girls. I just thought an issue of protecting young women was an issue that was a winning issue and an issue that we can all get behind. That's what I thought. Somebody on the YouTube said I had Trump derangement syndrome because I'm talking about the fact that Donald Trump was accused of sexually assaulting a child. Isn't that interesting that some of you folks are so deranged yourselves and so sick yourselves, and for some reason love a man so much that when he's been accused of sleeping with 13 to 15-year-olds, when he's made comments about his own daughter, how he told somebody, I'll date you when I get older. He's made questionable comments in the past. He was friends with a literal pedophile. He said he is known to like them young. That was out of his mouth. So that would lead me to believe that he knew that Jeffrey Epstein had a taste for younger women, that he might have an inkling of what was going on. And instead of condemning him, instead of saying, yeah, you know what, we can't have this type of stuff. If Trump was wrong, we got to get him out of office. Y'all want to defend a pedophile. At the end of the day, you got to live with yourself knowing that you defended a pedophile. At the end of the day, you got to live with yourself knowing you voted for a pedophile. But guess what? Because Kyle Walls ain't vote for no pedophile. I didn't vote for Bill Clinton. Also didn't vote for Donald Trump. So my conscience is clean, baby. It has been Truth to Power with Kyle Walls on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. We'll have more conversation tomorrow. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. The Tory Lowe Show is up next from 1 to 4. Peace out. I'll see y'all tomorrow, Truth Nation.
This Black History Month, 1017 The Truth, opening up the mic to Milwaukee's youth. Young boys and girls share